let's talk about the title of this video. Like, why helping Best Buddies in Colorado is important to me. Now, for those who may have heard about my involvement with Best Buddies last year, thank you very much for, noticing the news and also any support you did during the Champion of the Year fundraiser. It meant a lot. For those who did not know, let me go ahead and catch you up with that. So Best Buddies is a nonprofit organization designed to create opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Yes, it took me a while to remember that. So they're here to create opportunities for that community in terms of like finding friends or, getting involved in communities and events, finding perhaps, opportunities at school or maybe help with career. And in some states, not all of them, they also help with independent living as well. So as you can imagine, based on all this Best Buddies organization, which has been around for a long time, has very ambitious plans. And they just came here to Colorado recently, only about like a few years ago. And I know some of you may think a few years is quite a bit of time. In the grand scheme of things, not really. A few years for like a business is kind of like comparing it to like around its infancy. It still needs to grow, So it's been here in Colorado for just a few years and mostly in the Denver location. That's where they got started. But their plan is to kind of expand outwards beyond the city of Denver. And the way to do that is to host events and raise funds. Now, from what I saw, so far Best Buddies in Colorado hasn't really hosted too many events. But again, they're still starting out. Like, they do the Friendship Walk, and they have the Champion of the Year fundraiser, which I'll get into more of that. So, the only other type of events I can think of is there is an ice cream place called Howdy Homemade Ice Cream. They're also located in Denver, and they're an ice cream place that hires individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It gives them an opportunity to work and gain work experience, So I know they hosted a couple events earlier this month, but ultimately the goal, like I said, is to expand beyond Denver, but as you can imagine, that doesn't come cheap. So the biggest fundraising opportunity for them is the Champion of the Year fundraiser. And how it works is someone chooses an individual to be a champion. And mind you, this can't be just anybody. It has to be someone with the intent of helping the IDD community, but also someone who has demonstrated that they can be a leader in the past. They have to have experience with, planning things ahead, taking leadership, working on projects, stuff like that. They need the, lack of a better word, credibility needed in order to take part of this Champion of the Year fundraiser. And last year, I was nominated because of my work with the YouTube channel Toastamac. Thank you as always for supporting that. And also a couple other projects I worked on, like an Eagle Scout project, but that's a tale for another time. So I got chosen to do that, and that was my most ambitious project yet, because that one required me to step way out of my comfort zone, like beyond the YouTube channel and beyond the Eagle Scout project I did. Like, I really had to be really creative about like what stuff to get, what kind of events to hold, what kind of bets to make. And some ideas did work and some ideas did not work. But ultimately, thanks to the culmination of my campaign manager and all the places that worked with me, not only did we pass the $3,000 goal, but I somehow managed to get third place, like in the top 3 donors of the Champion of the Year fundraiser. Honestly, I have no idea how I managed that. My I don't remember like how much I actually raised, but it was definitely a significant amount because last week, I believe, we had a little get together for Best Buddies Champions where Miss Rachel, one of the head people of Best Buddies in Colorado, was given a presentation about like how the money we raised has made a positive impact. So, over the past few years since they've been here, champions of like last year and previous years in Colorado were able to successfully raise around, I think it was close to $500,000, and not just last year, but like the entirety of the years that they've been here in Colorado. But still, like $500,000, that's still really impressive. They were able to raise money for events, and one example they made was a Best Buddies Leadership Conference where representatives from different parts of Colorado were chosen, and they came together in this meeting to, plan and figure out like how to do more for the IDD community. And from what I understand, part of the money that was raised from the Champion of the Year fundraiser went to buying tickets for this conference for the representatives. So that's one thing that helps. I'm sure the money will go towards, making more events and more programs to give more inclusion for the IDD community. And the other thing that Miss Rachel showed during that presentation was that they're starting to expand. They're starting to expand east of Colorado, a little bit north, a little bit west. But what they want to work on next is down south towards the Colorado Springs area. Guess where I'm at? So, after the presentation, I talked to Miss Rachel, and it's really clear that she and Best Buddies in Colorado want to work with me, and honestly, I want to work with them. So, why? 2 reasons. I gotta remember to keep my fingers in the dimensions of the video. So, 2 reasons. Number 1 is that if Best Buddies can expand down towards Colorado Springs, then that means the IDD community within those areas can experience the same kind of events and, benefits that those in Denver are already getting. So we could potentially see a friendship walk, not just in Denver, but in Colorado Springs as well. And maybe some other events too, because Colorado Springs, I'm sure, has like a plethora of events that they can do. Like, one example, later in September, there is this light festival I read online where people come in, they get a kit to set up a lamp and kind of design it however they want. Then when the sun goes down, they can actually lift the lamps up and you see like a whole bunch of lights everywhere. So I'm going to see whether or not I go to that event. That's going to depend on if I get that day off of work. And let me see, because thanks to a nifty little app, I should be able to take a look, and it's still pending. Okay. Well, at least it wasn't like rejected, because that would like really take the wind out of my sails for this whole spiel I'm doing. But that's not the point. The point is that there is a lot of opportunities for Best Buddies in Colorado Springs. So it doesn't have to be just in Denver. It can be in Colorado Springs as well. Yes, it's a bit of a drive between point A and point B, but it is a very scenic drive, I'll tell you that. So that's one reason I want to help Best Buddies grow, in at least towards the Colorado Springs area, is because, it provides more opportunities. But the second thing is that this presents a rather unique opportunity. What do I mean by that? With other organizations I've worked with in the past, be it either I'm still working with them or not, they've had plenty of time to set down their roots and expand to where they need to expand. But with Best Buddies in Colorado, that's actually a different story. They only got here more recently, just a few years ago. So, what this means is that there is a need to grow, and this need to, set up networks and have someone to help set down the roots in the first place and come up with ideas, create and promote events, stuff like that. So this provides a unique opportunity for me as well, because if this works, I can say that I actually contributed to an organization's growth. And not only would that look good on like a portfolio and resume, but this is something that not everybody can say, because like I said, many organizations probably had their time to set the roots down and expand to where they need to expand, but not this time. Best Buddies in Colorado, while it's still growing, is mainly around the Denver area. So if I help out with expanding towards Colorado Springs, that's another feather in my cap, and it also creates opportunities for the IDD community down in Colorado Springs. Now, what exactly would that entail? Well, I'm not really too sure right now. Like, me and Miss Rachel and maybe one other person from Best Buddies in Colorado, we're still in talks trying to set up regular communications in terms of like how exactly to tackle this. Like, we came up with a few ideas. One of them is I made a video last year for one of the previous champions, Shivam. And it was basically a short 2-minute video, 2.5 video, basically making a spotlight of Shivam and his talents. And from what I understand, that was a really big hit with Best Buddies in Colorado. I know that in the YouTube channel itself, it has like less than 100 views, but here are a couple things to take into account. First, I only got the approval to release that video to the public only recently, because like this video was originally meant for the gala event last year. I didn't really know for sure whether or not I could officially post it on the YouTube channel. I only put it there so that it would be easier for Miss Rachel and the others to access it during the time of the gala, which leads to the second thing. When this video first debuted, it was in front of a live audience, around 300 people. And odds are some of those 300 people from the gala had shared that video with other people, be it either maybe they were recording it with their phone, or maybe they saw it on the YouTube channel and they told other people about it. Like, the viewership is there. People actually did watch the video about Shivam that I made. So one of the ideas that Miss Rachel had is maybe make some more videos similar to that, be it either some school events or another spotlight for an individual within the IDD community, or somewhere around those lines. And like, I would actually be paid for the video work, which would be good. That's one thing. The second thing is that it's something I can add to a professional portfolio, like a demo reel. Well, either a demo reel or the portfolio website, one of the two. And the third thing is that it also gives Best Buddies in Colorado more promotional material. Like, this would be work that they can show on their website. This could be content that they could show to other potential business partners in Colorado Springs, to show like, hey, this is what we're all about. We would like to work with you to support the IDD community. Let's talk about what can we do together. So that's one idea, and it does have a lot of potential. The other idea is possibly forming a committee of sorts, and this committee would be responsible for, coming up with ideas for events or how to improve on events, stuff like that. So There are some ideas. We just need to keep in contact with one another in terms of, like, how do we solidify the plan? How do we set the groundwork to get these plans in motion? So, so that's why it's kind of important that I want to work with Best Buddies in Colorado, because there is opportunities for everybody, for the IDD community, for Best Buddies to expand from Denver to Colorado Springs, and for me to build on my portfolio. Sorry, I needed that drink. So let me take a look and see if there's anyone on right now to chat with. And, if you have any questions or whatnot. Okay. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in terms of, like, why working with Best Buddies in Colorado is very important to me. And I really hope, like, we get something running soon, because this wasn't like maybe some of the other partnerships that I've done in Colorado in the past. Like, for some of them, not going to mention who exactly, but, like, it seemed more like a one and done kind of deal. The only other organization that I checked back with regularly, and I haven't heard from them in a while, was Help Autism Center, and they actually helped, promote my books, even sell some of my books, whenever they have events. So I'm gonna try to get in contact with them again. Maybe not necessarily asking like, "Hey, are there any events coming up?" But more like asking like, "Hey, how you doing? It's been a while," Because, like, with Help Autism Center, much like Best Buddies in Colorado, I want to, like, build this organic partnership. What do I mean by that? Um, let me tell you about what I don't mean by organic partnership. That we just exchange information like, hey, there's an event here, event there, here's opportunities for that. It's nice to get information, but, like, to create what I like to call an organic partnership is there has to be a bit more to it. There has to be, like, conversations, like how have things been going? Like, how are your projects coming along? Are there any, like, opportunities that you need me to help with, or, like, what else has been going on in life? Stuff like that. Make it so that the partnership means something, that it means more than just both ends just using each other. Like, they want to collaborate together, like they both share the same interests, similar goals, stuff like that. you know kind of build a bit of a friendship alongside that partnership. And I know that sounds kind of weird, like, don't mix business with friendship, but maybe have a little bit of, casual talk on the side. So I'm gonna get in contact with them again, see what they've been up to. And then this weekend, I'm gonna try to get in touch with Miss Rachel and the Best Buddies in Colorado again, because there are some great ideas, but what we really need to do right now is solidify on these ideas. Like, set up the groundwork for, expanding towards Colorado Springs and and really getting the new ideas that they were talking about, actually start putting them in motion rather than just, ideas. The only other thing is, like, for this year's Best Buddies Champion of the Year fundraiser, I'm actually not going to participate this time as a champion myself. And the reason for that is, while the Champion of the Year fundraiser was successful for me that year, I mean, I got, like, top 3, so obviously I did something right. The bottom line is that I got to that point mostly because, for lack of a better reason, I felt like I got lucky. That everything needed to happen the way that it happened. If it didn't, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have gotten top 3, let alone meet the goal of 3,000, because there were times I really had my doubts. So I did some of the common ideas like, door to door and, like asking for gift cards, direct donations, stuff like that. But, I felt like those methods were too basic. Like, I wanted to do more creative ideas, like telling the people I work at, hey, if you donate this much, I'll dye my hair orange. That didn't happen, as you can see. The other ideas I had was like a dine to donate, where a restaurant would hold an event and, people would eat at the place and give a percentage of their bill to Best Buddies for the fundraiser. That didn't do well either, because while you can set up the event there, they do not promote your event. Let me say it again. The organizations that do Dine to Donates, they can help set up the event, but they do not promote the event. They expect you to bring in the customers. And if it doesn't pass a certain minimum in terms of like earnings, doesn't happen. So obviously I couldn't get enough promotion for that. That idea didn't go through. The one unique plan I did that sort of worked was the charity live stream. And I was able to raise around like over $100 for the champion fundraiser, which is good. That was definitely more than I earned from the other ideas combined. But the bottom line is that what this Champion of the Year fundraiser showed me is that while it was successful and it took a lot of work, the bottom line is I'm not where I want to be with on this. Not even close. Like, if I were to attempt the Champion of the Year fundraiser again, I would want to do it on my terms, where I can host charity live streams like I did last year on Twitch and be able to raise money that way. And instead of like going door to door and asking for like donations and stuff like that. I mean, it works, but it just feels too basic for me. I would want to do the fundraiser my way, where I can bring an online community together to commit to the Champion of the Year fundraiser. So, but in order to do that though, this YouTube channel needs to grow. Like, if people can talk about Toastamax, spread it word of mouth, that would really help. And hopefully me partnering with Best Buddies in Colorado and helping them expand, hopefully that will help me as well in the long run. But as to whether or not it would actually work, well, we'll have to see. We still have to get the foundation in first. We have to get the projects going first. So that's basically all I have for this stream. And, thank you for watching this, whether you're doing it live or watching it afterwards. Now, I know that the times for the streams have been kind of fluctuating a little bit, but again, we're still starting out with these Friday streams. So right now is a great time to experiment, what times on Fridays would work. Because Fridays would be best for me in terms of like the live streams. I'm not really sure whether or not weekends would be a better option, because like maybe there's something else going on. Like Saturdays I have work. Sundays are kind of up in the air. But you let me know in the comments section, like, would Fridays at 5 p.m. work, or do you think a better time or day would work? Just let me know. I'm open to feedback at this point. We're still trying to create these live streams together. So that's basically all I have and what I wanted to talk about in terms of like Best Buddies in Colorado. If there are upcoming projects that I am at liberty to speak about, I will let you know as soon as possible, be it either the community tabs or the live streams like this. I'll keep you posted. And be sure to come back next week. We're going to also do that at Friday at 5 p.m. So, well, I'm going to experiment again. Let's try Friday at 6 p.m. instead and see if that makes any difference. So, next Friday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we're going to talk about a big change that's going to be coming in my life. So, I'll let you know about that change when that stream comes. Just depends what is on my schedule. Yeah, I hear that. Some schedules are more stable, some are more fluctuating, so it kind of depends, really. So that's perfectly understandable. But, like, that's the beauty of, like, kind of experimenting with these live streams and kind of, you know, figuring out what works and figuring out what doesn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here because I'm pretty sure the rest of my family wants to finish watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm kind of eager to get back to that too. So we're going to go ahead and leave it here. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you enjoy what you see, consider like, commenting, and subscribing to Toastamac to stay up to date on our latest videos and live streams. So, next Saturday, we will have the autism video about autism awareness, autism acceptance, and autism inclusion. So, look forward to that. And, again, there's the next Friday stream at 6 p.m., and there may be something else coming along, maybe not. I'll let you know. But until then, thank you very much for watching the stream, and until the next one, see you later.